The Embekke Devalaya is situated about 14 kilometers from the historic city of Kandy. History states that this was built by King Wickramabahu III, who reigned in Gampola during the period 1357 to 1374 AD. According to folklore regarding the construction of the Embekke Devalaya, there had been a drummer residing at a village named Rangama close to Embekka. Having suffered from a skin disease, he went to Kathragama Devalaya in the Ruhuna area and prayed for a cure from god Kathragama, and he recovered. Later, the drummer had visited Kathragama annually to pay homage to the god for the cure and played his drum at the Kathragama Devalaya. He did this until he became quite old and realized that he won't be able to continue his annual journey. So, for the last time, he reached the Devalaya with much effort and told the deity that he will not be able to come again to pay homage as he is so weak and old. That night, the deity had appeared in his dreams and told him not to be worried, but to return to his home, and that the god would demonstrate something miraculous with a tree nearby so that the drummer could pay homage by beating his drum to the god from where he lived. Thus, the drummer returned home with an easy mind and lived in his village. One day, in the flower garden of Princess Henakanda Bisobandara at Embekke, a gardener had been cleaning the garden and had cut a kaduru tree. Instead of the usual white sap coming out of it, a red liquid like blood had come out. The news spread across the villages soon, and people had gone to see the rare sight. The drummer, hearing the news, went to that place and realized that it was the miracle promised by god Kathragama, as was said in his dream, and he related his story to the people gathered there, and had paid homage to the god by playing his drum. Having heard the story of the drummer, King Wickramabahu III visited this place and constructed a shrine for god Kathragama and donated the surrounding land to the temple for its upkeep. Lankans believe that god Kathragama is a ruling guardian deity of Kathragama and is also referred to as Skandakumar and Kartika in Vedic literature, and so is revered by Lanka's Hindus as well. The ancient buildings at the Embekke Devalaya are considered to be the ancient traveller's rest or Ambalama, Singhasana Mandape, a frontispiece or Vahalkada, the main shrine or Devalaya, the Palli Devalaya, the Buddha shrine, the Murtangaya or kitchen, and the paddy storage house. The ruins of the ancient traveller's rest or Ambalama is found on a flat rock nearby the Embekke Devalaya. It is mentioned that during the time of the construction of the Devalaya, the king had used this as his resting place. The stone pillars found here have the same carvings as those seen on the wooden pillars at the Embekke Devalaya. The roof of the building has been fixed on the stone pillars. The original state of the roof is shown in a photograph that appeared in Henry Cave's Book of Ceylon, published in 1908. The Embekke Devalaya is surrounded by a parapet wall, and the main entrance consists of a frontispiece or Vahalkada. The frontispiece is made on a stone base in a rectangular shape. The roof has been fixed on 10 wooden pillars. These pillars consist of beautiful wooden panel carvings resembling human, animal, mythical figures and floral designs. The wood panel carving of the breastfeeding mother shows the correct way of feeding an infant. The pekada or pillar caps are fixed to the top of the timber columns and the roof is fixed on top of it. On the left side of the Vahalkada, one can see an ancient rock lintel or gal uluwassa. In front of the main Devalaya is a moonstone. This moonstone does not consist of any animal figures, unlike those seen done during the Anuradhapura and Polonnaruwa periods. The main Devalaya is constructed on a stone base in a rectangular shape. It is divided in 5 sections, namely the Drummer's Terrace or Hevisi Mandapa, the Sandun Kudama, the Middle Digge, the Pirit Mandapa or the place where Pirit was recited, and the Vedisitina Maligaya or Sanctum. It is believed that the Devalaya was originally built in 3 stories. The present single story was refurbished during the Kandian period. The front area of the Devalaya is known as the Drummer's Terrace or Digge. The Hevisi Puja done during the service puja for God Kadaragama is done in this hall. The Hevisi Puja is the offering of the Hevisi by using the drums. The Drummer's Terrace consists of 32 wooden pillars and the roof is fixed on it. The wooden pillars are fixed onto stone bases. The wood of the fern pimbia and the Indian kino or gammalu trees have been used for the columns. The wooden carvings seen at Embekke Devalaya are the most outstanding and number 514 in total. These have been carved by a wood craftsman named Delmada Devendra. Each pillar has 8 floral designs or liyapath carved a few feet above the ground level and also above the wood panel carvings. On each pillar there are wood panel carvings on the 4 sides, totaling 128 carvings. These panels consist of beautiful wood carvings resembling human, animal, mythical figures and floral designs.